Alright, let's clear things up. As early as the beginning of the year, everyone was excited about the huge chance that XRP would reach $10,000 0 cents. Also, guess what? That guess has just become much more accurate. Larry Fink from BlackRock is officially supporting this. Think about this. There's more to it than just $10,000 0 cents per XRP. Sorry, he's making the point that it's a basic need. Hi, welcome back to the place where you can find everything about XRP. Before we get into the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Please do me a small favor. Tap the like button, subscribe, and bell button to become a part of our wonderful group. Also, here's a heads up. As we get closer to 1,000 subscribers, we're getting ready for a huge XRP gift. It's really easy to enter the giveaway. Just do these 3 easy things. Okay, watch out and be ready. To make sure you get into the giveaway, don't forget to leave a code for MoneySide in the comments. This is where it gets juicy. Imagine that big names in finance like BlackRock and Vanguard are now seriously thinking about using XRP for their foreign transactions. Don't worry, things will get better. There are rumors that BlackRock will release an ETF that focuses on XRP. You did hear that right. There's more though. That was not all Larry Fink did. He's looking at the huge real estate market, which is worth $30 trillion 0 cents. Can you guess what the future holds for it? That's it. The XRP system all set to turn everything into tokens. A huge $1.20 quadrillion from the International Swaps and Traders Association is also going to flow through the XRP system and RippleNet. There's more to it than just $10,000 0 cents per XRP. That's how kids play. The value of each XRP could go through the roof, reaching as much as $60,000 0 cents. Wow, that's really cool. Let us move on to the next part. Another big surprise came from Larry Fink of BlackRock. There's more to him than just talking. Things are about to get really big for Ripple and its digital currency XRP. Everything will be tokenized. And the next part of our movie has a clip that will get people's attention. The move by BlackRock toward an XRP ETF was confirmed by Larry Fink himself. Let's not wait any longer. Feel free to watch this clip now. Adding a Bitcoin ETF is one way that we're making it official, making things safer. Do you have another ETF? What about an XRP ETF? You have Ether out there, I know that. What about XRP? Could you answer that? I can't. Do you not want me to answer that? Sure, I'm afraid I can't. Okay, they're making fun of me? We've seen a lot of strange things happening in the crypto world lately, mostly when it comes to XRP. Think about this, crypto.com XRP's value went through the roof and reached an amazing $43,000 0 cents on the world-famous market. This isn't a one-time thing. This is part of a rising trend of XRP's value going up without warning. Remember last week when we talked about a $7,000 0 cents XRP bug at a major? Now it's crypto.com's turn, and it looks like these sudden price jumps for XRP are happening all the time on different markets. Moving on to something else though. Something I found after doing a lot of study that is just as interesting, but has nothing to do with BlackRock or the XRP market surge in general. We're going to talk about Gary Gensler, the famous SEC head who took over for Jake Clinton. Gensler always puts XRP in the security category, which most of you may already know. This is where it gets interesting. Robert M. Gensler is Gary Gensler's identical twin brother. They're the same age and look a lot alike. As vice president of T. Rowe Price, Robert is a very important person there. If you look a little more closely, you'll see that T. Rowe Price isn't just any investment company. It's one of the biggest ones that is putting a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, XRP. So there's an interesting link here. Gary Gensler, who is in charge of the SEC, keeps calling XRP a security. However, his twin brother is very involved with an investment company that has a lot of money invested in XRP and other cryptocurrencies. It's an interesting contrast that makes me wonder about the complicated dynamics at play in the world of cryptocurrency investments and laws. Now we come to an exciting option. Could Robert Gensler, vice president of T. Rowe Price, know something that no one else does about XRP's possibilities, like they do about Bitcoin and Ethereum? When you think about how much the company has invested in these 3 cryptocurrencies, this idea starts to make sense. In public, the SEC says there is no such thing as insider trading, but many stories and investigations have shown that there is. These investigations, which have mostly been about market manipulation and insider trading, have frequently shown that the SEC is doing things that aren't right. It looks like a pattern is starting to form. It looks like SEC employees are telling their friends and family about which digital assets might soon no longer be considered stocks. Then, these family members spend early. When the asset is publicly declared non-saleable, its value goes through the roof, making these family and friends rich by buying low and selling high. In this situation, let's think about the chance that Robert N. Gensler got inside information from his brother Gary Gensler about how the SEC might lose a case against XRP. This kind of information could mean that Congress wants Ripple Labs and the SEC to reach a deal. Smart buyers should jump at this chance to buy XRP. But seeing the T-Row price send more money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most importantly XRP adds another layer to this story. The cryptocurrency community is talking a lot about how XRP could hit unbelievable highs like $10,000, 0 cents, $20,000, 0 cents. Analysts who have been bullish on XRP like Jack the Rippler think its value will skyrocket and could even go over $589, 0 cents. Even though this prediction is very bold, it shows how much people are interested in and guessing about XRP and its possibilities in the cryptocurrency market. Wall Street wants a piece of the XRP pie because it's so profitable, and my guess, an XRP ETF will be the first big play. But let's look into it more. More than just the surface of this change. CryptoBasic has some interesting news for us. An analyst says that JP Morgan has made a big move into XRP, which has caught the attention of a former head of Ripple. I had to raise an eyebrow at this discovery, and we need to talk about it. This is how the story goes. Ben Armstrong, who used to work for the BitBoy crypto brand, brought up some controversial comments about JP Morgan's alleged investment in XRP, which made an ex-Ripple director respond. Armstrong, a well-known person in the crypto world, wrote a series of posts about this. He says that JP Morgan has bought a huge amount of XRP tokens, 7.5 million of them. And now Armstrong says that this move is worth about 7.5% of JP Morgan's entire wealth. But wait, this math doesn't make sense at all. To give you an idea of how much 7.5 million XRP is worth now, 4.46 million doesn't even come close to 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth. Armstrong's math doesn't quite work out when you consider that JP Morgan's overall assets are a huge $3,890 billion, 0 cents as of 2023. Even so, Armstrong stresses how important it is that JP Morgan is supposedly stockpiling XRP as part of a plan. His opinion is that this makes JP Morgan an up-and-coming Bitcoin powerhouse. So far, we've heard that big Wall Street banks like JP Morgan might be interested in making moves in crypto, especially with XRP. Also,